Chapter 4. The locked room. They stood frozen on the staircase landing, staring into the shadows. The figure was gone. Just darkness now. But they had all seen Yitna. Denying that, Taylor's voice cracked. Nope. I'm done. I don't care what we promised. I'm not staying here another second. Ethan clutched his camera tighter, still trying to keep some control. If we leave now, we'll never know what it wants. We need proof. We need Marcus cut him off sharply. It wants her, not you, not me. Lena. The way he said it made Lena shudder, but Ethan shook his head, jaw tight. No. We can't let it scare us out. That's what it wants. Fear feasted. Marcus's eyes narrowed. And you think attention won't? The air in the hall shifted again, heavy and damp. A faint hum drifted through the walls, like wires buzzing with power. The house was listening. They moved deeper into the second floor, desperate for somewhere to hide. Every door they tried was locked, handles rattling uselessly. The corridor seemed longer now, stretching further the more they walked. Finally, Taylor kicked hard at a door near the end. The wood splintered with a groan, then gave way, spilling them into a room choked with dust. It was a bedroom, but smaller than the others. The wallpaper here was still faintly patterned with roses, though wilted and peeling. And the smell, a sharp, cloying stench, hit them immediately, like rot sealed away for decades. God? Taylor gagged, pulling his shirt up over his mouth. Something died in here. Lena's light swept across the room. The bed was stripped bare. No furniture besides a small wooden dresser in the corner. But against the far wall, something caught her. Something tall, draped in cloth. A mirror. She froze, her camera tilted toward it, though her hands shook. No, Marcus whispered sharply. Don't. But Lena couldn't stop. She stepped closer, each footfall heavy in the silence. With trembling fingers, she pulled the sheet away. The mirror was tall, framed in blackened wood. The glass was spotless, untouched by dust. It reflected the room clearly, too clearly. Because in the reflection, they weren't 4. They were 5. A figure stood behind them. Tall, thin, head bent at a crooked angle. Its face blurred, like water smeared across glass. Lena screamed, spinning around nothing. When she looked back, the mirror showed only the 4 of them again. But the air was colder now. Her breath came in visible puffs. Taylor backed into the dresser, rattling the drawers. Why is there always a mirror? Why is it always a mirror? Because it's not a mirror, Marcus said hoarsely. His eyes were wide, fixed on the spotless surface. It's a door. Before they could respond, the dresser behind Taylor tipped suddenly, drawers spilling open, yellowed paper scattered across the floor. Lena bent quickly, her light catching the fragile sheets. They weren't just papers, they were medical files, each one stamped with the name Holloway Asylum. Patient records. Dozens of them, all scrawled with the same note in red ink. Unfit. Isolate. Taylor flipped through with shaking hands. These are kids. These were children. Ethan crouched, his camera recording. This is it. This is the story. The Holloways weren't just rich. They shut up, Marcus hissed. Don't you get it? This wasn't just a house. This was a ward, and they never left. As if to prove him right, the whisper returned. Not one voice this time. Many. Dozens. Overlapping. Murmuring. Rising together like a tide. Stay. 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 The walls quivered. The floorboards shuddered. The mirror vibrated faintly, as though something on the other side pressed against it. Then knocked a single, sharp rap from within the glass. Taylor bolted for the door, fumbling with the handle. It's locked again. I swear it wasn't locked. Ethan pounded the wood with his shoulder. It didn't budge. Lena stumbled back from the mirror, her flashlight beam jittering across the glass. The surface was rippling now, faint waves spreading outward as though it were water. And then, a hand pressed against it, pale, thin, fingers long and sharp. It dragged slowly downward, leaving streaks like frost. The whispers rose, frantic, hungry. Stay. 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 With us. Marcus grabbed Lena's arm, pulling her back just as a crack split across the mirror. A sound like shattering ice filled the room. The glass didn't fall, it peeled, opening outward like a wound, and from the darkness within, something began to crawl. Chapter 5. What crawls out? The crack widened. Glass didn't just break it, peeled back like skin. Jagged edges curled outward, revealing a dark hollow beyond the mirror's frame. The air that spilled out was cold, wet, and rancid, thick with the smell of rot and damp earth. Lena clutched Marcus's arm, her voice thin. It's opening. Ethan lifted his camera despite trembling hands, recording everything. Oh my God. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Taylor snapped, his eyes wild. Are you insane? It's not a show. It's... The rest of his words died in his throat. A hand emerged. The same pale, tooth in hand they had seen beneath the bed. Its skin was translucent, veins dark beneath, fingernails cracked and yellow. It gripped the mirror's edge, pulling itself forward with a sickening creak. Another hand followed, and then a head. It was childlike at first glance, small, with tangled black hair but its face. Its face wasn't right. The mouth stretched too wide, lips split at the corners. Its eyes were hollow pits, sunken and glassy, reflecting light without returning it. It smiled as it pushed its way through, teeth jagged and uneven. The whispers rose to a screeching chorus. Stay, stay, stay. Taylor kicked at the dresser, scrambling back. Nope. Nope. I'm not. The creature's arms bent unnaturally as it crawled forward, joints cracking like dry twigs. Its body was thin, child-sized, but wrong, as if assembled incorrectly. It pulled itself fully into the room, standing crooked head tilting with sharp, twitching motions. Ethan whispered through the camera, voice shaking but steady enough to record. Oh my God. It's real. It's real, Lena screamed as the thing turned its hollow eyes on her. It knew her. Marcus shoved Lena behind him, grabbing a drawer from the fallen dresser. With a shout, he swung it at the creature. The wood connected with a sickening thud. For a moment, silence. Then, slowly, the creature turned its head back toward Marcus, neck bending far too far. Its mouth split wider, and from that black throat came the same whispering voices. But this time, not just stay. Marcus, the drawer clattered from his hands. The mirror behind it pulsed again, rippling outward like water. More hands pressed against the surface, pushing, small hands, clawing, desperate to pull through. "Run!" Marcus shouted. They threw themselves at the door, pounding, shoving. Taylor's shoulder slammed again and again against the wood until finally it burst open, sending them stumbling into the hall. Behind them, the whispers screamed as the thing screeched, a wet, tearing sound that echoed down the corridor. They didn't stop running until they collapsed at the far end of the hallway, gasping for air. Ethan clutched his camera like a lifeline. Do you understand what we just saw? This isn't ghosts. It's something else. Taylor snapped, shoving him. Shut up! We almost died in there. You think a video's worth that? Lena pressed her back to the wall, tears streaking her dusty face. Her voice trembled. It knew Marcus's name. It said it. All eyes turned to Marcus. He was staring back down the hall, pale as death. It's not just whispering. It's choosing. First you, now me. One by one. The floorboards beneath their feet groaned. The house was listening. They tried door after door as they moved down the hall. Some opened to empty closets, others to rooms with furniture rotting in place, wallpaper peeling in strips. None gave them safety. Finally, they stumbled into a wide hallway lined with portraits. The Holloway family stared back at them from the wall's oil paintings, their eyes dark and glassy, men in stiff suits, women in laced gowns. Children posed unnaturally still. At the end of the row, one portrait stood out. It wasn't faded like the others. It looked fresh. And the face looked exactly like Lena. Her flashlight slipped in her trembling hand. No, that's not me. That's not. But the others saw it too. The same pale skin, the same sharp paw, even the same shirt she was wearing now, though painted decades earlier. The plaque at the bottom read, Lena Holloway. Ethan's voice cracked. But that means... Marcus's hand clenched into a fist. It already has her. It knew. Before we even came here. The whispers surged again, loud enough to rattle the frames on the walls. And from far down the hall, they heard it. The sound of small feet pattering on the floorboards, running toward them. Not one set. Dozens.